Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Untitled Reviews. Now, if you had $180 or so to go and spend on a pair of headphones or a headset, would you go up and pick ASUS's latest ROG Fusion II 500 gaming headset? Well, the fact that it's multi-compatible, working with PS5, PC and mobile devices and also Nintendo Switch does make it quite a versatile offering, and its sleek design should certainly please an awful lot of gamers, and its audio should be pretty decent as well, certainly given that price tag. But really, is any headset worth $180? Well, let's find out if this ASUS one is, shall we? Now, in the box for the ROG Fusion II 500, ASUS don't half provide you with a whole lot of stuff. With the headset itself, some additional kind of breathable mesh ear cups that you can swap out for the leatherette ones, an instruction manual, and a 3.5mm cable. The only thing that I couldn't get into the picture was the bundled USB-C cable that will allow you to connect it to a myriad of devices. But more on that later. So, first things first, what about the design of the ASUS ROG Fusion II 500? Now, what you'll notice is that a lot of headsets that are about these days are becoming a little bit more minimalistic by way of their design, and the ROG Fusion 2 kind of maybe epitomises that trend. It's a really nice looking headset, as you can see from that wide shot, with its nice blend of rather smooth ear cups and sharp edges on those ear cups, actually, if you look around there, for example. As for its construction, it's made of some really nice, quite hard and sturdy plastics, although that plastic feeling maybe makes it feel a little bit less premium than some other headsets like Logitech's G Pro X Wireless that utilises an awful lot of metal. The plastic utilised, though, as I say, is pretty hard wearing, and it feels rather nice and smooth to the touch. There is some nice RGB lighting on this when it's plugged in. It kind of comes on the underside of kind of those little two plastic strips there, and they can flash all sorts of colours and pulsate and do what you need to. By default, it cycles through a spectrum of colour and can be changed within ASUS's software, and all in all, it does look rather smart indeed. As for the padding, you'll find, to be brutally honest, that there's absolutely loads. You've got plenty around the ear cups themselves, although a little bit less than perhaps expected on the headband. All of this really makes the ROG Fusion II 500 quite the comfortable headset to wear for a rather long time, and offers some fantastic passive noise isolation. It only weighs 310 grams as well, so can feel pretty light on your head, although maybe could be considered a little bit heftier by comparison to some other headsets. ASUS have been kind enough, inside the box at least, as you'll have seen, to throw in a breathable kind of foam mesh arrangement for some secondary ear cups if you so wish them. I preferred those during my testing with this headset, although I've just put the standard leather ones back on so you can see what those look like as well. Around the bottom and around the bottom side of the headset, you'll find that there is a shed load of multimedia controls. On the left hand side comes a 3.5mm port for phone connection and the USB-C cable for connectivity to consoles and PC, alongside a really handy volume roller, surround sound toggle and a mic mute button. On the other side, things are a little bit more minimalistic, with a device selector switch and a dial that allows you to balance game and speech audio, which is certainly rather handy indeed. It's almost like the Spotify app for games consoles, where you can kind of flip between how much game audio and how much of your own music you want to hear. But all in all, to be honest, the ROG Fusion II 500 is a rather smooth looking headset with some great construction, a nice blend of hard plastics and a little bit of kind of metal flex, as it were, that should offer some fantastic passive noise isolation with those brilliantly padded ear cups, and all in all does look rather smart indeed. So what about kind of audio quality then? Well, it's all very well and good having a headset that looks the part, but if it doesn't sound good with decent detail, then you are a little bit stuffed. But on the good side, the ROG Fusion II 500s actually sound really good indeed. You're going to get some really crisp audio with some nice balanced mids and highs, and even when you don't have the surround sound, there's a pretty decent low-end rumble present. Of course, that does get a little bit heightened when you enable the headset 7.1 surround sound, which we'll get onto in a minute. The audio, as I say, is rather balanced, which means that it's pretty agile, as it will cope with all manner of music and game audio alike, and sound rather good and clear in the process. As I say, virtual 7.1 surround sound can be toggled on the underside of the Fusion 2 when I was talking about the kind of slew of multimedia controls you get with this, and to be honest, it makes a really pronounced difference with this particular headset. Your sense of placement is really heightened, and it can make it a lot easier to pinpoint kind of the positioning of enemies via gunshots and things like that. And as for musical surrounds, turning the surround sound on does allow for a little bit more bass to come through if you're looking for a little bit more bottom end in your music as such. Although, considering how kind of nicely agile the audio is, you won't get too much kind of overpowering with the bass. It's there just enough, but it won't kind of drown out any of the mids and the highs. When it comes to the microphone, well, let's get on to that right now. So, the microphone, how does the ROG Fusion II 500 mic sound? Well, truth be told, you're listening to it right now. You'll notice actually that it sounds, well, for a headset microphone, actually pretty good. There isn't as much crunch or pop as perhaps there is on some cheaper headset microphones. And to be brutally honest, this is probably down to the fact that ASUS has used what they call AI beamforming microphones, which actually feature some intriguing AI noise cancellation tech, which offers, as you can hear, some rather good pickup with good clarity that will actually cancel out the annoyances like a clicky keyboard or otherwise. And you can trigger whether you want this kind of ANC, mic ANC, if you like, off or on in ROG Armoury Crate, which is ASUS software, which we'll come on to in a moment. But actually, to be brutally honest, for a headset that doesn't have a dedicated external boom microphone, I'm pretty impressed with this. Although for some people, an external boom mic may actually be better, something a little bit more simple to use. And if you are spending $180 on a headset, it is worth noting that you could split that budget right down the middle and get yourself a decent mid-range headset and also a rather good USB microphone that's going to sound an awful lot better than this one is for the price. So on the front of software, you're greeted with ASUS's ROG Armoury Crate software. That right off the bat allows you to change audio settings like the volume, for instance, the mix between chat and game audio as such, and I suppose the different bit rates, I suppose as you wish in different audio frequencies. You can also turn virtual surround sound on or off, or optimize your sound for all sorts of things like gaming, music and movies, up the bass, change the compression and increase vocal clarity. And speaking of the microphone, there's also the options to add noise gate or perfect voice and increase that noise cancellation and change reverb and things as well. As for lighting, you've got all sorts of effects from static to breathing to strobe, and if you want to change the colours from all manner of 16.8 million colours on the spectrum, then you can as well. And if there's any firmware updates that need doing for the headset, then ASUS do allow you to do it too. So, in conclusion, should you buy ASUS's ROG Fusion II 500 gaming headset? Well, if you're somebody who's wanting a fantastic all-rounder, then you're going to be in luck here. You're going to be getting, I suppose, the best of every world with some good audio, a relatively decent microphone, and some rather good build quality, just to name three of this headset's standout points. On that notion, if you're somebody who also wants some audiophile quality kind of gaming headset audio, then the ROG Fusion II 500 kind of will have that in spades, given the fact that it supports high-res audio and particular codecs. It's a pretty decent headset for audio as well, with some rather crisp and sharp kind of audio. And also, if you're somebody who's looking for a more of a minimalistic design specifically, then this ASUS headset will offer something a little bit sleeker and perhaps sharper than the other more gaming grade headsets with their more kind of sharp curves and all sorts of kind of RGB lighting, as it were. If you're a minimalist, then the ROG Fusion II 500 will suit you perfectly. Now, really, all in all, this is, as I say, a brilliant all-round gaming headset and well worth a pickup if you can stretch to that $179 price tag. If you can't, there's no need to worry, because you can still get some pretty decent headphones for that price or less. For instance, for $40 or $50 less, you can have Razer's Kraken V3 Hypersense, which provides you with a suave design and also some haptic feedback if you so wish to have it. Now, really, all that remains to be said is that if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe to the channel. And of course to ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. To follow us on indeed Twitter and of course Instagram. Links should be appearing on the screen right about now. And also down in the description, if you want to rep the Untitled brand, as it were, there's going to be a spring store where you can pick up all manner of t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, wall art, mugs, pint glasses, stickers, canvas art and all sorts of things like that. So if you're interested in any of that sort of stuff, there's a link down in the description. Spring ship worldwide, and the quality of their stuff is absolutely marvellous, so it's worth checking out if you can. Also, as I say, if you like any of the kit that we featured in these videos, be it this ASUS ROG Fusion II 500 headset, or any of the other myriad of headsets, keyboards, mice, laptops, multimedia controllers, microphones, and all sorts in between on this channel over the last couple of years, then there'll be Amazon links down in the description of those respective videos where you can pick all that kit up. So once again, thank you very much for watching.